Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, I have shown you how to set the last message over here, the below the name. And here you can see this, it's showing the last message because we haven't had any conversation with this one, that is btech days. And here this last message is shown whatever we had the conversation. So I have shown you how to set the last message, and I have also shown you how to design for the settings. So if you haven't watched that video, then just go to description. There I put the link from a previous video, or you can simply do one thing. Just click on the suggestion on the right side of the screen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to backend code for this. When we click on this one, it should open our gallery, and there we can select the images, and then we upload that image in our Firebase. After that, I'm going to show you how to actually update our profile and make this back button functional. These all stuff I'm going to show you in this video. So let's start with that. So I'm going to just close this, minimize it, and I'm going to close these all. So close all. I'm not going to work on any of these. Okay, after this, first thing what we have to do is we are going to work on the settings. So we will open settings activity, just double click on this, and here first we have to set the binding. So for that, make some space, and here we have to create activity settings binding, this one, and I'm going to name this one binding. And after that, we have to simply remove this one, and here we have to type binding is equal to activity settings binding dot inflate, and inside this one we have to simply pass the get layout inflator. After this, we have to set the send content view, and inside this one we have to pass the view binding dot get root, like this one. Now we have set the view. Okay, so before we do anything, we have to actually add one dependency in our project, that is for storage, Firebase storage, because what we are going to do is we are going to actually put an image somewhere, and we have to connect that, or we have to copy the path of that image and store it in our Firebase database. Suppose if you have a picture on your desktop and you want to connect that in your application, then what you will do, just copy the path of that picture from your system, and just store it wherever you want to use it. The same way we are going to do it. So first, in the storage, we don't have anything because we haven't created any storage for now, and we haven't added any dependency for this storage in our project. So we are going to do that. Okay, so what we are going to do is whenever the user click on that plus sign, this plus sign, let me just open my app on which we are working. So we are working on this one. So just click on this. What exactly will happen whenever user will click on this plus? It will open a local storage or the gallery where you can select a particular image. If you select one image, that image will be uploaded over here in this storage, and the path for that image will be copied and stored inside this particular users. Here you can see this, we have only 3 steps, but we are going to store that image URL from the storage and going to store over here for that particular user. So we are going to perform this task. Okay, so let's start from here. First, move back to our project, and here you have to click on this one, tools, and select Firebase, and it will open a pop-up like this. Make sure your system is connected with the internet. After that, search for storage, cloud storage, click on this one, get started with cloud storage, just click on this one, add the cloud storage SDK, click on this, and here you can see this, it's adding one dependency, that is com.google.firebase:firebase-storage. So apply changes or accept changes. Gradle build is running. It will take few seconds, completely depend on your internet speed. And it's almost done. Yeah, it's done, and here you can see this dependency is set up correctly. After this, now our dependency is added. After this, what we have to do is we have to move back to your Firebase console where you must have logged in with your email ID. I'm just logged in. Select your project, and my project is PD chat video. Go to this storage, just click on this. Okay, so whenever you log in and go to console, you will find a view like this. Select your project, whatever the name you have given. So I'm going to click on this one, which I'm using in this app. Click on storage. When you click on this one for the first time, here you will see an interface like this, get started. Click on this. It will ask for the rules, so we don't need to do anything. Just click on next, and you have to just select this one. Just leave it as default and click on done. Creating default bucket. It will take few seconds. Setting up security rules. Okay, so now it's done. Okay, here you can see this, there are no files here yet. So now our storage is ready. Now whenever you click on this, it will always open here. So what we are going to do is we are going to put one folder over here. Inside that one we are going to put all the images. So I'm going to show you how to do those stuff. So now our storage is set up correctly. Dependency for this storage is also added in our project. If I collapse this one and move back to this one, build.gradle, here you can see this. For the storage, the dependency is added. Make sure this one is added. If not, then manually type it and click on sync now over here so that this will add. Okay, so after this, first thing what we have to do is we have to make our back button functional. If you observe that when I click on this, nothing happens. So I'm going to make this one functional. After that, we are going to open the gallery whenever we click on this one. Okay, so make some space over here. And here what I have to do is just simply write binding dot, and our button name is back arrow dot set on click listener and new view on click listener, and it will automatically put some code for us. After this, we have to simply move to the main activity. So I'm going to create one intent is equal to new intent, and here we have to write settings, where we are settings activity dot this, and where we have to move the main activity dot class like this one, and we have to simply start the activity, and inside this one we have to pass the intent like this. If I restart the application, let's check if this one is working or not. So we started the application. It will reinstall our application in our device. Okay, so Gradle build is running. Install, and it's done. Click on this one, click on settings, and when I click on this, yeah, we move back to main activity. So this one is working. After this, what I want is when I click on that plus symbol, we need to move to gallery. For that, make some space over here, and we have to simply write binding dot the symbol, the button, the image view name is plus dot set on click listener, new view on click listener. If you want to check for the where this one exactly exists, so just click on this one, and we move to the designing part. And here you can see this, for this plus symbol, the name, the ID for this one is plus, so we can directly set a click listener on this one. So here what I want is whenever user click on that, I want to open the activity, a new intent, which will open our gallery. Okay, so before we write anything over here, first we need to create an instance of Firebase auth storage and Firebase database also. So I'm going to create a Firebase auth, and I'm going to name this one auth, and after this Firebase database, that will be database, and Firebase storage, which we are going to use. If you type like this, and it will show an issue, just click on this one, import class, and here you can see this. Now this library is imported. Okay, so Firebase storage, and I'm going to name this one storage. Now we have to initialize these stuff over here. So I'm going to initialize the storage. Storage is equal to Firebase storage dot get instance. After that, we need the auth. So Firebase authentication dot get instance. Finally, we need a database. So database is equal to Firebase database dot get instance. Now we have the instance all of these, so now we can work on these. Okay, so first thing we have to move inside this one, that plus. Whenever we click on this one, we have to start a new intent. Intent is equal to new intent, and we have to type intent dot set action for result actually. So set action intent dot action get content, because we are going to get some content and we are going to set the type, what type of content we want. So set type, inside this one we need only images, so I'm going to put image over here, and it's of all type. It's maybe PNG, JPG, and anything. So I'm going to start a new activity, start activity for result, and we use this first one, that is intent and int request code. So inside this one we have to simply pass one intent which we have created and one request code. So I'm going to pass this one 25. So you can pass anything, and outside of this one what we have to do is we have to override one method, that is on activity result. And inside this one what we have to do is we have to actually store that data in our Firebase storage, and we have to fetch that data. Okay, so let me just delete this much code. Let me just collapse this, and we don't need this much. If you have this one in your code, just delete it. Okay, after this just make some space, and first we will check that if user has selected something or not. So we will check with the help of this data. So if data dot get data is not equal to null, it means that user has selected some image. In that case we are going to store the image. So URI, and I'm going to name this one, just hit alt enter to import the class, and it will be one file. So yes file dot data dot get data, and binding dot profile image dot set image URL or URI, and inside this one we have to pass the URI. So this profile image is the name for this image view. If I click on this, here you can see this profile image is the ID for this. So we're going to set instantly the image to that image view. After this we are going to store that in the Firebase storage. For that we need a final type of reference, so storage reference, and if I hover over this, okay, so we have misspelled it, alt enter, it will import the class storage reference, and we have to type reference is equal to storage dot get reference dot child, and we are going to create one folder, that is profile image or profile pic. I'm going to name this one. This will be the name which will appear over here, the folder name over here. So if you want to put some another name, then just make sure you change the name over here. So we got the reference for the storage, and the name we are going to put as profile pic for that folder, and we are going to put the image. So child, so Firebase auth dot get instance dot get URI. So we already got everything. So now we have this instance with the storage reference. Okay, next thing what we have to do is we have to put the file. So reference dot put files, and inside this one we have to pass the URI. So yes file dot add on success listener new on success listener. When you hit enter on this one, it will automatically put some code for us which will simplify our task. So on success, what we want to do is we want to actually get the reference URL and store in our the Firebase. So for that we have to type simply this one. So reference dot get downloadable URL dot add on success listener, and so this one new on success listener, and here we have to store that under the users. So database dot get reference dot child is users in our case. If I move back into this one, and if I move back to the real-time database, and here we have users under which, with that, under this ID we need to store the image. Okay, so the path, the downloadable path for that storage we need to store over here. So move back over here, so get child, and we have to get the ID for which user actually logged in. So we will get that from Firebase auth.get instance.get uid, and under this we are going to put the image, so child, and we are going to put the name for that, that is profile pic. E is capital for the pic. After this we have to just set value and URI dot to string. Okay, so what exactly is going on over here? So if I move back into this one, here we have this users. Under this, whatever, whenever the user, suppose one user is logging, it has some UID. This is the UID, unique ID, with which we can actually identify a particular user, which one is logged in. Under that name, we can put a new user profile pic. So here this name will be profile pic, and one URL will be shown over here. In for now, you can check over here that we have only one profile pic, like this one. The same way, when we sign in with Google, in that case we have the profile pic, but in this one we don't have uploaded any profile pic for now. Okay, so now the task is done over here. We got the instance. Under the childs, we got the ID, which user is logged in. Under that we have given some name, and this will be the key value pair. So this will be the key and the value which we got from the storage. So it's showing an error. So what we will do is we will put a semicolon over here, and we will start the application. It will reinstall our application, and we move back over here. And if we move back over here in the settings, and we are logged in with some other user, so we are going to click on this one. It will open our local storage. Here you can see this, our local storage is open. If I click on this, this will actually move back to our app. Okay, let me just reload it, and let's check if we ran into some sort of issues. And here we go. Okay, so I guess it's crashed. Let me just check it. Okay, so we have some issue over here. Attempt to access custom after it has been closed. State data exception. Just minimize it. Okay, it's not an issue. Sometimes it happens. I have just closed the app and restarted the application, and when I click on this, and when I select this, and here if I move back into this one, and here you can see this, now the profile pic is updated over here. Here you can see this, new image is uploaded. So this one is working. So we have coded perfectly fine. Just close the application and restart it. It will be functional. Okay, after this, here you can see this, it's added the Firebase, this downloadable link. If I move back into the storage, we will see that we have one folder with the name which we have given, that is profile underscore pic. If I click on this, here we have one image. If I click on this one, we have some file location and access token. We actually get the ID, that is storage location, and we actually put that in our real-time database so that we can access that image over here. Okay, so still our task is not done. If I close the application, and if I open our app, and if we go into the settings, we observe that we don't have image. Why this happens? Because we already have the link in our storage, Firebase storage, that is real-time storage, but the image is not visible over here. This is why, because we have stored the image, but we haven't fetched that image and show it in our profile image view. So how to do that? For that, just move back into this one and just move back over here. And here I'm going to add few more line of codes. For that, first thing what we have to do is we have to get the reference for the database. So I'm going to get the reference database dot get reference dot child, and the child is users, U is capital, dot child Firebase auth dot get instance dot get UID dot add listener for single value event. Inside this one we have to type new value event listener, and it will automatically add few codes. So just remove this one as we did earlier. Just remove this one also. After this, what we have to do is just go inside this one, and here we have to create a users variable, that is users instance of that one. So users, with the help of this snapshot dot get value, and inside this one we are going to get the users dot class, like this one. After this, we have to use Picasso to actually fetch the image from our Firebase storage, Firebase database, and show it in our image view. So Picasso, we have already added the dependency for this one in our previous video, so I will suggest you to watch all my previous videos. So dot load users dot get profile pic. With the help of this, with the getter and setters, we can actually get the profile pic from there. Placeholder, if there is no image, then we will use the default image, that is r.drawable.after, which we have added. Here you can see this, it's visible. Dot into binding dot profile image. Now if I restart the application, and let's check now if this one is visible or not. So we have set a cloud image over there, so I'm going to check it. So just click on settings and just give it a few seconds. Here you can see this, now the image is visible. Now we get the image from our Firebase real-time database. After this, what we have to do is whenever user click on the save button, we want to save whatever the text inside this one and whatever the text in this one to our Firebase database. And we also want to show those messages whenever the app is logged in, and whenever we move to the setting, I want to show those messages over here. For that, what we have to do is just move back over here and make some space over here. Here what we have to do is we have to simply type binding dot, and our button name is save button dot set on click listener new view on click listener. If I move back into this one, just click on this, and here you can see this is button name. The ID for this one is save button. You have to use the same name over here. Inside this one, we need to first, whenever user click on that, first we want to extract the username, the about, this username and about from these two text fields or text view, and we are going to keep it in two variables. So first I'm going to take two variable, that is of status, and we are going to get it by binding dot et status dot get text dot toString. One more variable, that is for username, is equal to binding dot txt username dot get text dot toString, like this one. After this, we're going to put into a key value pair. For that, I'm going to use the hash map, and inside this one we have to pass one string and the second one is object, and the name for this one will be obj is equal to new hash map, like this one. Now obj, that is hash map dot put, and we are going to put the user name comma username, like this one, and obj dot put, and this one will be status, and the second one is status, like this one. After this, we have to get a database dot get reference dot child, under the child users dot child, and we need to get the Firebase authentication dot get instance dot get UID dot update children, like this one. Inside this one we have to pass the obj. Now what will happen, whenever user click on the save button, it will take the status from that and the username from that particular field, and it will put into this object. And after that, what will happen, now here what we did, we got the reference for the database and we got the users. If I move back into this one, this users, under this we got the ID for a particular user with which we are logged in, and inside this one we are going to create two more key value pairs. So key, we have put it over here, that is the username, and another key is status and the value whatever user will enter into this particular fields. Okay, and we are going to push or put that message into the Firebase database. After this, we want to show a message, toast message, so we can show a toast message like this one, create a toast profile updated. And you can also check one small stuff, that is if the text field is empty, then you want to show a user with some sort of message. So if not binding dot et status dot get text dot to string is equal to null, something like this one, dot equals null, and we also have to check for not binding dot ed user, what is for that, that is txt username dot get text dot to string dot equals null. If these are not null, then we want to perform these operations like these all stuff. Just cut these and paste inside this one, and in the else condition I want to show the user a toast message. Please put or enter username and status like this one. And if I restart our application and let's check if this one is working or not. So we have restarted the application. If I move back into this one, and let me just open this one also so that we can see all of the stuff simultaneously. So I'm going to put the username over here. The username is ABC, so I'm going to put ABCD, and about I am a developer. And if I click on save, here you can see this, the status is over here and the username is updated. If this one is empty, and if I click on this, please enter username and status. If I click on this, here you can see this one is looking nice. In the same way, if I close the application and move back into this one and vd status, and if I move back into this one settings, here you can observe that we have the profile pic, but we don't have the username and about which we have set over here. Here you can see this, it's in our database, but we don't have it in our app. I'm going to set that over here, just move back into our app or the project where we are working, and here we have to write few more line of code. That's the simple stuff which we are going to do. So we already did store the image and show that image over here. So we are going to set those message simply over here. So binding dot ed status dot set text, and we're going to get it from users dot get status, and binding dot txt username dot set text users dot get username. So you must be worried that from where we got these methods. Okay, so in the users model class we have created this constructor and we have set the getter and setters. With the help of these, we are actually extracting the values from the Firebase. Here you can see this in the users snapshot dot get values from the users type. So if I restart the application and if I move back into this one, now for now installation is being done, and here you can see this. if I move back into this one, here we can see this. Now ABCD and I'm a developer is visible over here. So this one is looking nice. So I'm going to simultaneously deploy this in the two different applications. So multiple devices, select these two, click on OK, restart, so that this will start in two different devices. Here we go. So in this one, we are logging with a different user, that is ABC. Here you can see this now, the image, whatever we set for us. Here you can see this cloud ABCD is visible over here. If I change this one to PQR and save it, here you can see this, the name is instantly changed to PQR and the image is also changed over here. But for we are logged in as ABCDD, and here you can see this for ABCDD we haven't set any image. So if I click on this one and I'm going to select one image, I'm going to use this one. So click on this and about I am ABCDD, just save it, profile updated, and if I move back over here, and here you can see this, now the image is updated. So I'm going to chat with this one, that is PQR, and we already had the conversation with this one. Okay, so now our task is done. We have actually designed the settings, we have coded, backend coded for this. Now our image is also being uploaded, we have set the username, we have set the status. If you want to set a particular stuff on these all stuff, then it's very simple, just click on. For that, what you have to do is just move back over here, make some space into this one, and if we simply type binding dot and move back into this one, click on this particular field, text view, not this one. Yeah, this is a text view where we have to set the, so this ID for this one is text view 2. So if I move back over here, binding dot text view 2 dot set on click listener, new view on click listener, and here I'm going to set a toast for now, toast. If you want to set a new intent, then you can simply create a new intent or activity and you just pass from one activity to another activity with the help of intent. So privacy like this one, and if I restart on the both application, if I move back over here, okay, so installation is being done, click on this one, and if I click on this, here you can see the privacy policy is clicked. So in this way you can actually set a click list on this one. So we are done with everything. First, I have shown you how to sign up and sign in with Firebase database. I have also shown you how to actually set or create our Firebase database and connect that with our app and set the rules. After that, I have shown you how to add the view pager in our app, and I have also shown you how to fetch the users available in our device and set a circular image view, custom design for each user over here, how to filter ourselves and extract ourselves from our own chat, and I've shown you how to actually have a conversation between different users and also in the group chat. Here you can see this. We can have a conversation in the group chat. The same message is shown over here. And finally, I've shown you how to design for the settings and how to post or upload the image and set username and about. So that's it. Our project is completed. If you want any additional feature in this one, then please comment and let me know so that I came up with a new series of WhatsApp with advanced feature. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share, like, and keep supporting us. Thanks for watching.